There are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like to study. It's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight.
Perception is being managed. We are being steered and guided by a hidden hand.
The whole world has been duped by the media that is not real.
Smart thinking, possible time traveler, smart thinking.
That night, boom, contact memory.
And then just, Alex, if you don't agree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I've lost my touch with the ladies.
A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why?
Now, experts are suggesting that we're in a golden age of shape-shifting reptilian sightings. Now, why is that?
I was, and still am, a huge conspiracy guy. I literally ran out of new tin hat topics to research.
It was most definitely not capable of melting steel.
Then I would be a crackpot if I thought that was the case.
Thought that was the case.
Welcome to the Hypothetical Institute, a podcast about conspiracies.
My name is Luke.
I'm Salty.
I'm Cam. Hello, boys.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm Peachy. Peachy keen. I'm a bit tired, but other than Peachy.
Yeah. Welcome back, Salty.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Salty.
Yeah, you guys were nice and productive while I was away.
Yeah, all right.
We got a couple in. We got all our news ones done.
Oh, yeah.
So it is our 100th episode.
Happy birthday.
Happy 100th. Happy ton.
Yeah.
Raise a bat to the changing rooms.
Yep.
What?
The old sentry.
Yeah.
Got up the sentry.
Cam, for someone that loves cricket trivia, you don't seem to know how cricket works.
Yeah. All right, so there's a bat?
There's a bat. You raise it to the changing rooms.
All right. So today, in honour of our 100th episode, we're going to be talking about QAnon, which is something we've discussed before. You might even say we were some early adopters of QAnon.
We were like the first people to talk about it.
But there's been a lot going on. We've talked about it a bit over the course of like the news shows on the Patreon.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you to Tammy, our cooked $33 sponsor.
Thank you.
Ta.
But there's all been, it's been bubbling along. And I guess it's still like the major conspiracy theory driving...
It is growing.
The boomer far right.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's safe to set this episode up in the fact that I've had no interest in Q since it started.
Yeah.
So I know very little of it. So I'm going to play the part of the layperson in this episode and probably going to ask the dumb questions.
Yep.
There are no dumb questions. There's only dumb things to ask questions about.
Okay.
What about Q does not appeal to you?
Don't know. I just didn't understand what the fuck it was ever.
I think that's a fair thing to be confused by. I don't think anyone really understands what the fuck it is still.
I never got the intrigue. And everything that was posted on Reddit or whatever just seemed to be massively long. And I just couldn't invest the mental capacity to sit there and read through all the fucking rubbish.
There is a user on Reddit called Serial Brain.
Right.
Have you come across him before, Cam?
No.
He writes...
Serial with an S or a C?
With a S. So he does a lot of...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
He does a lot of decodes on Reddit. And I think he does them on YouTube as well.
Right.
And they are nuts. They are like... Probably a good 3,000 words.
Right.
And it's just like, hey, did you spot this letter was slightly different to that letter?
Yeah.
And if we jump forward to this letter, are you with me now? What? And it's that for three. I tried to follow them one day to get a handle on it. I could not. I made it maybe
unsubscribe, please.
200 words.
Yeah.
So to recap, what's the basic QAnon conspiracy in a nutshell?
So, QAnon is someone that posts on the 8chans, the deep web, according to Jerome Corsi. And he posts in code little teasers, little tidbits of what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, he just has...
behind the scenes, specifically in the Trump administration, right?
Yeah, and like their attempts to tear down the deep state.
Right. Now, is he posting this with normal security clearance?
You'd think you'll find he has Q security clearance.
That's pretty high.
Which
is that actually a thing?
It is a thing.
Made it up.
It is a thing, but
it's
not
a thing in a movie or something, wasn't it?
No, it's
Clear and Present Danger.
I think it's a thing in the movie.
That's a movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's also a thing in Star Trek. Maybe he got it from Star Trek.
Q security clearance.
Oh no, the Q in Star Trek, who's a super being thing.
Maybe.
Says Robbo, who's like picking his way slowly as shit through Star Trek.
Don't Star Trek shame me.
Q's not from Section 31 though.
No, we don't know that.
We don't know that really.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, so in the Department of Energy, the Q clearance, presumably this is from the Rational Wiki, relates to nuclear secrets of the United States. So it's not. It is a thing, just not for the White House, not for taking down the deep state,
right?
Not for pedophilia cabals.
Yep.
It's a very much unrelated thing.
So the conspiracy as it started, it was sort of an extension of Pizzagate. And essentially it was that Robert Mueller was not actually investigating Donald Trump for ties to Russia, but that Donald Trump had pretended to do dodgy stuff with Russia so that he could then get Mueller in to investigate him, but Mueller would really be investigating Clinton, Obama, the deep state, taking down all of the bad actors in the FBI and the NSA and the CIA.
Just a slight diversion back to where Q clearance comes from. There is also an episode of Archer where someone uses Q clearance to get into Area 51.
Ooh. There you have it.
There you go.
Is that from? When's that from?
That was season 6. So
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. There's also Q plus and Q plus plus, which is when someone that's slightly higher than Q posts.
Like R clearance?
Yeah, no, Q plus
or
plus.
S?
No,
No?
just Q plus plus.
Okay.
That is allegedly said to be Donald Trump posting himself, logging into 8chan and just doing some shit posting.
Yep.
And that's where the juicy stuff comes in.
Right. How do you know if it's Q plus plus?
Puts a little plus next to the Q.
Oh.
One of the things about it all is it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Nothing that he types is any legible in some way. Started off being really code. It's changed over the years. And Cam, I think you probably much more across who's been in and out of the Q sphere over the years. But it started off being really like cryptic, and then it started to get sentences. Like it started off with proper predictions. So the first one was like Hillary Clinton's going to be in jail at this date.
Yep, didn't happen. Cool.
And then it got more cryptic as we went.
Right.
And then for a while he just posted links to news articles, and recently he posted a link to a Karate Kid video.
Right.
A little snippet from Karate Kid when he goes into the dojo. It's not really clear why he did that.
No.
But the YouTube comments on that were fucking cooked.
They also, all of the posts have a little code attached to them, which people do try and decode these codes, don't they?
Yeah.
I saw an analysis today. Someone had a look at all of the little codes that he'd put on the top of posts, and they were all very much consistent with someone just hitting keys.
Right.
Like you can see where they've put their hands down, and they've sort of played the keyboard like a piano.
Yeah.
And then they've just got a bunch of random letters.
Right.
You can definitely see that, like the pattern.
Yeah.
It's not like a proper code.
Yeah. Speaking of that, someone posted there was a picture of an old German teletype thing that they used in the war, and the first few letters were QWER, because that's how keyboards are laid out.
Yep.
And someone's like, Q, we are Q. There are no coincidences. How many coincidences does it take before you don't pretend it's or whatever?
I can see that right now, Robbo. What's going on?
With my keyboard.
Yeah.
I can't answer that. Just remember there's no coincidences. Yeah.
So for this, I watched a few videos by Q people. I watched one by a mob called Edge of Wonder.
Oh, yeah, I watched them.
Yeah.
Couple of kind of like bro light guys.
Yeah.
Kind of broy. They're weird.
It's such a weird channel.
Yeah.
Because it's these two bros, and they're just sitting there, and they're just shooting the shit, I guess.
Yeah.
And they seem so reasonable.
They seem like they're debunking it with how breezy they're like, as if this would happen. And you're like, wait, are you pro Q though?
They are.
Yeah.
But they did this whole video about how the mainstream media won't accept Q, and the mainstream media is biased, and this is the reason that the Q poster has to go through 8chan rather than going through the news, is because just look at some of these articles about QAnon, and they'll have there was an article from Gizmodo where they're like, firstly, they're like, Gizmodo, a tech site? Why would they even be reporting on Q? And it's some article on Gizmodo about how the App Store has pulled QAnon-related apps.
Yeah.
And it refers to the crazy QAnon theory. Right. And they're like, crazy? They're like, the newspaper used to be split between news and opinion. Now, these are clearly opinions. Crazy, that's not unbiased news. I'm giving them a voice. That's not actually a fair voice. It's because I also watched Jeff from We Are Change videos. So that's not the voice. Imagine that stupid voice, but they sound like just laid back bros.
Yeah. One of them was wearing a Hawaiian shirt in a vid that I watched, just because they were in Hawaii.
Chilling.
Yeah.
But they also, they had a bunch of examples of laid back casual journalism websites where they're a little free and easy with their language sometimes.
This one that I saw that said they weren't happy because it said, and you thought Pizzagate was nuts? And they're just like, this is not a bias. This is a bias article. Yeah, right. This is immediately bias.
What apps? What Q apps were there?
I imagine ones that would alert you whenever Q did a little post.
Right.
That's a big one, I imagine. It's baby boomers mostly, so it's probably how to make little Q memes.
Yeah.
You could probably generate a Q. We should make that one. That's a good one.
I feel like both of those apps are probably way better than whatever weird Q app.
Because there is this sort of a stylized Q that has become what they put in all the memes, but people change it to suit their their chosen lifestyle. So you can get army versions, you can get Disney sort of cartoony versions. Versions on Fire is pretty common.
Have people posted their tattoos of their Q?
There's definitely Q tattoos,
The other reason, according to these guys, that Q has to go through 8chan and not the media, because in the 50s, the CIA had a project called Operation Mockingbird, where they had CIA assets working for various newspapers. And
so you can't trust them.
You can't trust them.
That's probably fair.
It is true that they had people working in newspapers and that they would, put stories into newspapers, and that's something that they almost certainly still do.
Right.
Project Mockingbird, not to be confused with Operation Mockingbird, was a separate thing where they had a wiretap on a couple of journalists, and that came out in one of the big reports into what they were doing called the Family Jewels Report. And in this video, though...
Family Jewels.
They also giggled at that.
One of them also wears a cap like yours in some of the vids.
Oh, okay.
It's white, though.
Right.
So they do conflate Project Mockingbird with the so-called Operation Mockingbird.
Right.
One of them is confirmed as definitely having happened.
Yeah.
And one of them definitely happened, but no one actually knows if they called it that.
Right.
But yeah, there was a CIA project to fund, like we've talked about with the modern art, to fund lots of cultural institutions.
Yeah.
Quadrant magazine in Australia was funded by the CIA through front groups. Anyway. I also watched a video about Q from a channel, Joe M.
Oh, yep.
And the name of the video is Q, the Plan to Save the World. I've seen that a lot around. It's got over 1 million views. I sort of went for like what are the biggest Q videos from the past 6 months or so, and that was definitely the biggest. But I've seen it on Facebook as well with way more than 1 million views. And essentially, it's laying out a worldview where capitalism and communism are both, flawed somehow, and that, which is fair. But a criminal, there's essentially a race of criminals who have been manipulating things behind the scenes, manipulating the media, manipulating world events, politics, etc. They don't actually say who, but it's very basic anti-Semitism.
Right.
Oh,
global bankers.
Yeah.
Jews. We're talking about Jews.
Yes.
Okay, good. They also, they spent about 13 minutes of this video. It was a 13-minute long video, these guys. Just picking apart all the news and being very unhappy with it. One story calls it bogus a lot.
Right.
It's bogus conspiracy theory. It's bogus. And they're like, did this lady watch too much Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey? And they just say, look, it's not incoherent, as everyone claims. You just have to sit and decipher everything. It's very coherent.
Yes.
This thing that I think we've spent an hour trying to explain once, and we still don't really understand what it is.
I also saw they did a video with I guess he's a top Q decoder. It seemed to be on some sort of tropical retreat they were on.
Yeah, they did a tropical retreat to Hawaii.
Yeah, right. Which sounded nice. Although there are a lot of frogs chirping in the background. Like, sorry about all the frogs.
They did go swimming
French everywhere.
Sorry?
They
did go swimming with dolphins at one point, which seemed to be pretty fun.
To see, like, they were secretly going to talk to them?
Yeah, if you heard about Q.
In this video, though, where they're talking to this guy in Hawaii, one of the examples he gives of how true Q is...
I was just laughing. I'm waiting for the example of why it's so true.
Well, there was this post he did where it was just to a Fox News article about the Mueller report coming down, and then it just said panic, and he's like, and all these people just lost their minds. They're all panicking. It's like, that's how you know it's true. It's like, wait, what? No one gave a shit about this.
One of the other proofs that guy gave was apparently Air Force One changed its call sign to Q0. And it's just like a random screenshot on some sort of Air Force site where someone is tracking Air Force One. I don't know how call signs work. I know that is not the call sign that Air Force One uses. They change their call sign pretty frequently. But Q0, if you look at your mobile phone, look what's under the zero, only a little plus.
On my Nokia.
On your Nokia? No, on your keypad on your Samsung or your Apple iPhone. I checked it before.
I don't have a keypad, do I?
You go to your phone.
Keypad to dial in the number.
I don't want to dial a number.
What? How would you dial someone?
Wait, under the Q?
Under the zero.
Oh, under the zero. Oh, so there's a zero which looks like a Q.
Yeah, no.
There's a plus.
Yeah.
Q0 was the call sign.
Yeah. So
I shouldn't worry about the Q, which is on 7.
No, that's unrelated.
Okay, I should be looking at 0, which looks like a Q.
So it's Q0, and if you hold down 0, you get plus.
How is it a Q0?
That was the call sign they had.
But if you look under the Q, there's like a little fucking anus.
What have you got under your Q? Oh, under the Q. Yeah, right.
A little asterisk.
Yeah.
Like a little butthole.
Right. What do you think that implies?
I don't know.
Well...
So that was their that was their theory that Donald Trump was signaling to everyone that he was Q+.
Yeah.
By changing the code on Air Force One.
Yeah.
To Q+.
So we can put it together with our Nokia.
Yeah.
3310s.
He decided this was trolling the fake news, and it was a fun thing to do. That's why Donald Trump does it. No one in the fake news noticed anything about this because no one cares about it.
Yeah.
So there have been a few big Q events in the past few months, some of which we've covered on the news show, but we might just recap here.
Yeah.
There was the guy at the Hoover Dam
Yes.
Do you remember him?
I do.
It was like an armed standoff at Hoover Dam. What was his demand? Just for them to release
Gog and Magog.
And to surf down the dam.
Yeah.
I think it was they wanted the FBI to release the Mueller report or something. No, he wanted the report into Clinton's servers released.
Right.
And then the police just said, stop that, or we'll shoot you.
Right.
He was there for a while. Didn't he have a hand grenade?
Yeah, I think
that
so.
guy?
Was his threat that he was going to blow up the dam?
So he'd been writing letters. He's written letters to Donald Trump and other elected officials with the phrase "Where we go one, we go all," which is the QAnon catchphrase. Right. WWG1.
WGA.
Yep. That's from a movie called White Squall in 1996.
I'll just note that Squall
has a Q in it. That is true.
And a U.
And all. And white. Which is probably even more telling. Directed by Ridley Scott. Starring Jeff Bridges. It's about a group of kids that, like, their parents send them to a ship to, like, do a bonding, like, toughen them up kind of a thing.
Like the Young Endeavour.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think they...
Remember the Young Endeavour?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's still a thing, isn't it?
I just didn't expect to hear about it today.
They crew a sailing ship to gain experience, discipline, or whatever their parents feel like they lack.
Right.
So there was a lion on there that needed courage. There's a Tin Man on there.
No. I feel like I watched a bit of this movie the other day.
Right.
Do they incorporate this into anything?
How do you mean?
Do they care about White Squall? Why would I have watched a clip from White Squall?
Well, that's where the phrase "where we go one, we go all" comes from.
Oh, maybe.
So everyone knows that movie is related to the Q-universe. Right. Thank you.
Anyway, let's see. Besides the Hoover Dam, I mean, we had that guy out in was it Arizona on top of the with the
water tower guy.
Yeah, the water tower guy.
He's probably in jail now.
We had the head of the Gambino crime family getting whacked.
Yep.
By a Q guy.
Yep.
It's not clear whether it's related to Q or if it's like he wanted to go out with his daughter or something.
Yeah.
But I bet that when the Gambino crime family and the head of the Gambino crime family and all of the heads of the 5 families of New York were meeting up for Stromboli and like talking about how they'd like to be whacked one day. None of them were like, I want to get whacked by a QAnon guy.
Sure.
I wanted to just get taken out the back of the club.
Yeah.
Quietly in the back of the head.
Get a kiss first.
Yeah.
Get your goodbye kiss.
By someone with a cool nickname.
Yeah.
Frankie Four Fingers.
Yeah.
Or like
Fish Lips McKenzie.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to get killed by
Jimmy the Hammer.
Someone called Fish Lips, though. That'd be the way to go.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want him to kiss you first, though.
Yeah.
All right. I'm willing to get done in by Fish Lips, but...
No kissing.
Can handsome Johnny kiss me instead?
Yeah.
You don't get taken out by Barry One Ball.
Sure recently tweeted something somewhat QAnon related, which was out of character. She said something about the storm coming. She said something is coming, sorry. So the storm is coming is the kind of the Q, like, the storm, Donald Trump.
Yeah. She's just talking about some upcoming release.
Yeah, she's about to go on tour.
And then she says Anon in the next tweet.
Yeah, meaning soon.
Yeah. Wow. Does Anon mean soon?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
How?
As it's a synonym.
Synonym?
Yeah.
For soon?
Yeah.
Anon?
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Jump
true.
on thesaurus.com, mate.
I'm doing it.
All right. Cool.
Soon, shortly. Well, there you go. I didn't know that. Turns out Cam, a little bit smarter than us.
Is it like a different language? Is it like from a different language for soon?
It's archaic and informal. So it's old. No one says it anymore.
Yeah. Except for Cher.
Cher, who's old as fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, people jump into Cher's Menchies now, and it's just all Q people like, yeah,
right,
Cher on our side.
She's like, but Cher's like so cooked that she would not be passing that at all, I don't think.
Yeah.
She's probably like, this is my normal mentions.
Yeah. She also does a lot of anti-Donald Trump stuff as well. A lot on her tweet. So, yeah, Q fans are loving it. There's also the guy who rocked up to meet Mike Pence, the vice president, and he was wearing a Q patch. He was military police, and he had a Q patch, and then when that came out, that's what was on his thingo. He got fired.
Right.
And Q posted, like, hey, buddy, we see ya. If you want to fast track to the FBI, like, let me know and I'll hook you up, kind of a thing. Like, I've given you a name to the FBI and we'll get you fast tracked.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure his name has been given to the
FBI.
Yeah.
He just for the record, I checked his LinkedIn, still listing the same job that he was in. So,
well, did he get sacked or did he just get like suspended?
He got demoted.
Yeah,
he ripped off his stripes.
So I saw that those guys that we were talking about before, the bros,
Yeah.
they held that up as another example of the fact that Q is real.
Yeah.
And also, like, at a lot of rallies, people are wearing Q shirts and things.
Yes.
And so then they'll have a photo of Donald Trump pointing to someone
Yeah.
in the crowd. But you can't see what he's pointing at, but they say he's pointing at a Q shirt.
I've seen, there's one famous one where a guy was filming as he was pointed at. And it's just Donald Trump stumbling around pointing at things. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
There's also, they're like, look, he does a Q sign with his finger. And
Yeah.
they'll show a video of him doing like a circle.
Yeah.
Like circling his finger out in the air.
Which is a signal of Q.
Is it?
Wow. If you're Donald Trump, it is.
Right.
And again, he's just an idiot who's just waving his hands around.
Do you have to do the little thing as well?
Yeah, they say he does, but it's very tenuous.
It's doing an O sign.
There's also a video of, on the side of a road, someone holding up a sign. I think this is when the Trump, like, presidential cavalcade or whatever it's called, was going past. And they're holding up a sign saying, MAGA, honk for Q. And a car honks. And they're like, oh my God, the president honked.
Definitive.
Yeah. You couldn't, it was, the motorcade was going quite quickly.
Right.
It was a busy road. And there was a lot of people standing there.
Yeah.
The chances of them seeing anything, they probably just saw honk. Ah! Yeah, joke's on you, you've just told us you're horny.
Yeah. Hey.
Another Q interaction that has happened lately, we did talk about this on the last news show, but for people that aren't Patreons, James Comey got a school fete shut down.
Yes.
So this is not entirely James Comey's fault. He was getting on board with the 5 jobs I've had hashtag game.
Yep. Not a great thing if you're a security guy, but there you go.
And he posted on Twitter, hashtag 5 jobs I've had. Grocery store clerk. 2, vocal soloist for church weddings. 3, chemist. 4, strike replacement high school teacher. Scab. Which he could have just put that. And
Yeah. Would have covered it.
Still would have worked for the acronym that's coming up.
Yeah.
And 5, FBI director, interrupted. Well, I think it's stopped. You're not going to be remade FBI director, I don't think.
Yeah.
Is that not a massive career shift and jump
From high school teacher to
high school
FBI
teacher
director?
to FBI director?
He wasn't a proper high school teacher, he was just a scabby one.
Yeah.
And
So
he just needed
relief
someone.
teacher
Yeah.
to FBI director.
He was also a soloist in church.
Yeah.
And also didn't say that's all the jobs I've had.
No,
He probably just picked out some fun, quirky ones. Like someone slipped him a tenor to sing a song as a tenor. And he called it a job. What? That was great, Cam. Tenor to play it? Hell.
Anyway,
Oh boy.
as correctly decoded by people like Top Info Blogs, 5 jobs I've had, 5 J-I-H-D, 5
Jihad.
Jihad. And then
Right.
GVCSF, the first letter of every job that he listed, is clearly a reference to the Grass Valley Charter School Foundation,
Yep. No, I get that.
who are having an upcoming school fete.
Oh, those buggers.
And then had to cancel it because they were afraid that... so basically, the QAnon people put it out there that there was going to be a terrorist attack at this school fete.
Right.
And I think I saw an interview with the school where they're like, our internet traffic went up by like 1,000%.
Yeah.
But they only got like 5 or 10 phone calls. But they're all from like people offering to come along to protect the school. And they're like, we had to cancel it because we didn't want anyone coming to protect people and then hurting people.
Yeah.
Because like they thought someone was a terrorist and shot them. So they just had to cancel the whole thing.
Can I just suggest, if there's some upcoming public event and you go around saying there's going to be a terrorist attack at it online, chances are it's either going to be shut down or something's going to happen in relation to it.
Yes.
So I don't think Q needs to feel too special about shutting down a fate.
No, but it's a result of people reading codes into everything.
Shit.
Yeah.
But you could have just done that without reading into that stuff.
Yeah, but they need to so there's that kind of whole thing like they think they're discovering.
Yeah,
they're getting these little breadcrumbs left, and they're discovering them. They're the clever ones.
Yeah.
So they need to save us.
Right.
It's very complicated in its simplicity.
Yeah.
They've also been going after Tom Hanks.
Yeah, so, well, this...
What did Tom Hanks ever do to anyone?
Well, I think this starts with Isaac Cappy, right?
Yeah.
So Isaac Cappy is the guy who, I don't know if you remember, a little while ago, someone accused Seth Green of being part of a pedophile ring.
No.
This was like a minor actor. He went on like InfoWars.
He did a lot of InfoWars, yeah.
He was like, I used to hang out with Seth Green, and he told me that there were pedophile rings. One time he was showing me like a secret bookshelf in his house. He's like, "This is where we keep the kids, Isaac."
Like behind it, you pull a book down and it swivels around.
Yeah.
Right.
If you were rich enough to have one,
definitely have one.
Yeah.
Not for putting kids in.
No.
But just for...
I don't think Seth Green's also doing that and speaking so candidly about it.
No.
It just sounds like Cappy can't understand the difference between a bad joke and reality.
Yeah. So, not to talk too ill of this bloke, because the end of the story is that he's dead. But he is an actor. He's from Thor, from Breaking Bad, from Terminator Salvation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He's described as being an actor from these films. He was the pet store clerk in Thor. I think he had a role like random passerby in Breaking Bad. His acting roles definitely get inflated by the InfoWars crowd.
Yeah.
But he's best known for choking Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter.
Yeah.
Is what he's actually most well known for.
That's kind of when he first hit the news. And then people are like, so what's this guy about? And he's like, deep state, QAnon.
Yeah.
Pedophilia. And I was like, wait, what?
He definitely pivoted from being known for being an abuser to being, exposing all of this other abuse. Which was convenient for him.
Also, pretty creepy looking dude.
Yeah. So he died last week of apparent suicide. He fell off a bridge and was hit by a truck, I believe.
Yeah.
This came shortly after he posted a final video where he very cryptically referred to having done something bad. That it's not entirely clear what he's talking about, but I suspect that it's probably pedophilia related.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Just from the way he was talking. But they all seized on this that he's obviously murdered. And then Tom Hanks got involved because he died on Route 66. And 1 month earlier, Tom Hanks had posted a photo of a dusty plastic glove on the ground on Instagram. And said, "Historic Route 66. Hopefully not roadkill." Apparently Tom Hanks has a thing where he posts gloves that he sees.
Yeah. Just random things.
Yeah.
Also in the shadow.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But I did see a video where they're like, Tom Hanks loves to post creepy photos and put a bit of music behind it.
Ooh. Again, if you
each post, I sort of think it was like each time you post a photo, it's the scene of an Illuminati victim that he's murdered. It's to show all of the other Illuminati, don't step out of line.
So Tom Hanks is pumping around the world, acting, being a all-round nice guy, bumping people off.
Yeah. Whew. By all accounts, a very nice bloke.
Yeah. Except when he's bumping you off.
Yeah.
He's probably a bit mean about it. He's probably lovely about it.
Yeah, he's probably great.
You'd be like, hey, before you bump me off, can you do a couple of Forrest Gump lines? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay.
Like, can I get a selfie? He's like, no, I wish I could.
Yeah, this is the
But
part I
it
can't.
would be incriminating.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to understand, I get asked for selfies all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to enjoy a murder with my family.
Yeah. Also in the photo that he took, in the shadow of his elbow, you see, it looks like a bottle cap with the letter P on it. And maybe some blood underneath it.
You know what? If he was taking that with his selfie camera, that very well might be a Q.
Could be. That's one of the decoders, one of the big QAnon Twitter accounts said that was a P. And then I was reading some comments about it and people were like, are they just going to ignore that it probably looks more like a Q? But that was apparently something as well.
I just got it. Because the selfie camera, they're backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they missed that. They missed that completely.
You know the phrase, mind your P's and Q's?
Yeah.
Do you know where that comes from?
Yes.
Printing presses.
Yeah.
Why do you have to mind them?
Because they're backwards on the letters in the letterpress.
Oh, so don't get them the wrong way around, or it looks.
All your P's will be printed
like
as
a
Q's.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It was like a lesson they'd teach the apprentices, mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
Same place where upper and lowercase letters come from. Because the capitals are in the uppercase and the small ones are in the lowercase.
And dot your I's and cross your T's.
No, that's another thing.
Different thing.
Yeah.
But still important.
No, the I's and the crosses were already on the little letters.
Yeah. Do you know how a printing press works?
Yeah. Still
just glad you're not in charge of one.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
So old Cappy, he also in the photo also of Tom Hanks,
yep.
he had also posted a red handkerchief a few hours before Cappy was killed.
Yeah, so these are, I think, handkerchiefs that are being sold by Colin Hanks, his son,
who
you might remember from Dexter.
I don't, but
in which
fair
he
enough.
played a serial killer.
Did he?
I
which
remember
one?
him from That Thing You Do.
Which thing?
That Thing You Do.
No, I do a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah, you know the movie, though? That Thing You Do?
Which movie?
That Thing You Do.
That's a good bit.
Yeah.
I
disagree with you, Robbo.
Maybe give it a little trim.
No, I'm leaving that one in.
Got cricket sound effect lined up.
God damn it.
Colin Hanks. Who was he in? Dexter.
It was in one of the very later seasons.
Okay.
The less said, the better. But about these handkerchiefs, I think the only connection is that there was a handkerchief in the Pizzagate thing.
Yes.
Remember, there was the pizza-themed handkerchiefs, but these aren't pizza-themed handkerchiefs. They're just handkerchiefs.
Right.
Yeah, they've just kind of got it like a triangle pattern on them.
Okay.
It's like bum, bum, bum.
Also, I'm just remembering that Tom Hanks' son wasn't in that movie at all.
Okay.
Tom Hanks was in it.
Okay. Was he the band manager?
Yeah.
Playing an all-round nice guy?
Yeah.
Ah, classic Hanks.
He worked for the record label.
But yeah, it was just the... why did you think it was Colin then?
Oh, there's a younger guy in the movie who kind of looks like him, I guess.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, people saying this needs to be investigated. The man... So, Tom Hanks apparently accused of him being a pedophile, someone was saying?
I think
Did
maybe
that happen?
Cappy had said something about that.
Right.
He was sort of taking a scattergun approach.
Does he somehow tie in something to do with the movie Big?
No, that doesn't come in. I've never seen that come into the Tom Hanks stuff. And that is...
It's prime for it, right?
Yeah. Normalising... Because, like, does he sleep with that lady, or they just kind of fall in love?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any boning going on.
Yeah.
Can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah. It's a good movie, though.
Very good movie.
No, I think there is.
There is boning?
Oh, maybe not.
Well, she sleeps... Do they have... She's like, can I sleep over? And he's like, I get top bunks.
Yeah. We can look that up later.
Yeah.
And then maybe watch the scene on the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom Hanks was tied up in all this. What else we got?
You know who else is tied up in it? John F. Kennedy Jr.
Ugh. But if I know anything about John F. Kennedy Jr.,
is that he's dead.
He's dead. He's very much dead.
You'd be very much mistaken.
What?
He faked his death so he could go undercover within the deep state and then report on the true goings-ons via 8chan. John F. Kennedy Jr. is in fact the man behind Q.
Well, this is remarkable. How would we know what evidence do we have of this?
I don't know if there is any evidence of it.
Okay, what about Vincent Fresca? Is it Vincent Fresca? Have you guys heard about this guy?
You tell us all about him. Look, let me just say, I had notes for this episode, which I left on my desk at work, and I'm hoping to God that nobody reads them. Because they're just right on my desk.
Vincent Fusca, who's this guy that goes to all the Trump rallies. He's kind of odd looking. Salty, do you know what this guy looks like? That's him there on the right hand side. Obviously, for the listeners, it's hard to.
Okay, the one with the hat on.
The one with the hat on.
Yep.
Looks nothing like John F. Kennedy Jr., who's pictured a few years ago.
Yep.
No.
I mean, they could. But I think maybe if you kind of accept that they both have a face, then they would look alike.
Sure.
JFK Jr. died in a plane crash?
Yes.
Reconstructive surgery? Maybe he did have a plane crash.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he looks like now.
They made him an entirely different racial
Yep.
background.
A lot of skin trauma.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
They gave him curly hair.
Yeah, maybe he had to have a whole head skin transplant.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I've
put more thought into it than any of these fucking Q people seem to have.
No, they've put a lot of thought into this one. None of it makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Makes about as much sense as yours.
Okay.
I think a blue Q is a symbol for John F. Kennedy Jr. So if you see a blue one, that means that that particular version of Q believer thinks that John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive.
Okay.
That's a little code. There's codes within the Q community.
Right. If you do a green one, does that mean you're being sarcastic?
Don't think so.
No?
That probably means something else.
Remember sarcasm green? That was the thing, right?
I don't think so. What is that?
Isn't that a thing on forums and stuff? If you wrote something and you're specifically supposed to be sarcastic about it, you'd put it in green.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Maybe that's why all the forums we were on sort of descended into so much backbiting.
Because no one was using sarcasm green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add us if anyone else remembers using sarcasm green.
I remember people wanting a sarcastic font.
Right.
And if we had a font for sarcasm, that would change everything.
Yeah.
But now it's just doing the SpongeBob meme by putting different letters in upper and lower case. I think that's just sarcasm now.
Right.
People have done Vincent Fusca facial recognition, which is basically they've said that this is true.
Right.
If you analyze their faces.
Is that like one of those apps where it's like, what celebrity do you look like?
I think I saw someone do that, and it was like, oh, they got like 10% for this guy because he looks nothing like him. Yeah. Anyway, look up Vincent Fusca.
So, do we have more Q news? I mean, there's been lots of little things. There's that pastry chef at Mar-a-Lago that does like Q cakes.
Yeah.
And I did see people getting worried that like at some point the president was just going to be like a photograph of the Q cake and that they'd take this as a sign to start the armed insurrection.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess the kind of the big thing about all this is a lot of people believe all this is true. All this, QAnon is helping them take down the deep state.
Yep, that Obama is secretly working to bring down the government. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead.
Yep.
Or has been cloned.
And this is all happening behind the scenes and Q's telling them about it. And they frequently post how excited they are about it. Like, this is what an amazing time to be alive. I'm so glad I lived in part of this history.
Right.
One guy whispered to his dad on his deathbed that, it's all happening. You can go die safe, that Q's going to save the world. There are a lot of people into this. A lot.
I got onto a few Australian QAnon groups.
Oh, yeah, I checked one out.
On Facebook.
Did you go to that support group yesterday?
No, so I don't intend to do this at any point, but there is like a bi-monthly Q supporters group that like meets in Oakley.
Right.
Out in the southeastern suburbs.
Maybe we could go to that and then go to the UFO site.
Yeah.
So on the QAnon Australian groups, they were a bit confused about the election. Firstly, there was people being like, "Oh, ScoMo's in, thanks Q," and then the replies are like, "Wait, is ScoMo okay? Isn't he part of the deep state?" And they're like, "Oh, well, he's like a grey hat." So the white hats are like the people on Q side, and then the black hats are the deep state. And they're like, "I guess ScoMo's more of a grey hat." It's like, how's ScoMo anyway on your side? Like, but we managed to avoid communism under Bill Shorten. But then there are also comments like from Australians who are like, "Wait, what happened?"
I wonder what they talk about at a monthly Q Australian meetup.
There's only one way to find out. It's bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly?
Yeah.
Does that mean twice a month or every second month?
Every second month.
Okay. Fortnightly otherwise.
Yeah.
You feel free to pop out to the Lee Oak Club in Oakley.
Oh, that's where it is. Yeah, I know where that is.
Why do you know where that is?
Bit out east.
Oh, yeah?
It's funny because it's like Oakley backwards. So that's why it's...
Lee Oak.
Yeah.
Jumbled up. I wonder if that's a code.
Fucking probably.
Yeah, so a lot of people are into this, even Australians who meet bi-monthly in Oakley. A lot of merchandise is being sold. We know who Q is, who has been at certain points. It's been moderators off the HN board.
Yeah.
For a while.
There were like 3 YouTubers who got pinged by NBC as being the people who started it. I think there's a possibility that they have like passed it on to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of people have put their hands up and said, "Yeah, I was doing the posts."
And it's weird because at this point, it's interesting to know, but it's so irrelevant because the people that are following it, of which there are many, are like, amazing time. We're going to be starting a civil war soon. We're going to be taking back the deep state. We're going to be signaled to do stuff. I don't know how I don't know if there's any way to find out how many people actually believe in this. But there's
We'll find out when the Civil War starts.
Yes, yeah. There's a noticeable presence at Donald Trump rallies of QAnon signs, and international rallies as well. Like any right-wing related rally, there's probably going to be a couple of QAnon signs these days.
Right.
Which is just nuts. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of baby boomers. I've seen whole families decked out in Q gear. For a while, their Q gear was banned at Trump rallies, but I think they've
rescinded the ban.
It's kind of half the rally. It's weird. It just still doesn't make any sense to me that all these baby boomers are like plugged in to 8chan to get this deep state info. How do you end up like that?
I think a steady diet of Fox News, where what is happening with QAnon is not that far removed from what was happening with Glenn Beck, is it?
What was happening with Glenn Beck?
Yeah, just FEMA camps, Jade Helm, all of that stuff.
Did he rescind all that?
A few years ago, Glenn Beck did a thing where he was like, sorry, he went on a little redemption tour. But now he's just gone back to being nuts.
Yeah, when he lost all his supporters.
Yeah.
Speaking of people rescinding it, so InfoWars jumped off it pretty quickly. And the 2 bros were talking about at the start of the show. They were talking about, all the people that have followed Q over the time, including shows that we used to love. Cough, InfoWars.
Oh, no.
Alex Jones.
I saw a guy in an InfoWars shirt the other night.
Really?
On Friday night. Propagandy.
Really?
He's rocking his little InfoWars shirt.
I wonder, is that ironic, do you think? Because Propagandy are very left-leaning and politically woke.
I guess so. Probably. Maybe he was into InfoWars from before.
When it was woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear an InfoWars shirt even ironically.
No.
In this political climate.
Oh, you're asking for it.
Yeah, you'd be asking for dipshits to come and talk to you as well.
Yeah. I reckon.
Yeah.
And we already attract enough weirdos just from the auras that we put out into the world.
Let me just check if I've got anything else on Q. Oh, there's some fun comments on the Karate Kid video I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Imagine being someone that you just uploaded a Karate Kid video to YouTube. Oh, I like the scene, I'm going to upload it.
Yeah.
And then one day, it's just people commenting about the deep state. What the hell?
Yeah.
So this person has got all the evidence that Q has just dropped in-depth lists of every Rothschild bank, breakdowns on the Vatican, how the cures for cancer are being held at the Rockefeller Institute.
Right.
Literally a breakdown of the entire elite power structure, saying how 9/11 was an inside job, how Bin Laden had a handler, and on, bro. Of course they are writing hundreds of articles making it look like some whack job shit. All those media companies are run by bankers and the Bilderberg Group. Once the public knows how everything works, these CFR and trilateral commission assholes lose all their power to make us fight with each other. That's the main objective of these posts. To wake up the world, and it's working. To wake up the world to a Karate Kid video. And fair enough, Karate Kid's pretty good.
Yeah.
I watched it again recently, and it's like, actually, this is pretty good.
But did people need to be awoken to it? I guess you did. You'd forgotten how good it was.
No, I watched it before I got linked.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm not done here.
But if you hadn't watched it, it would have been a good reminder.
Yeah,
you
that's
probably
fair.
would have put Karate Kid on, or at least Cobra Kai on YouTube Red.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching that?
No.
Fuck, it's good.
Hang on, I've still got a bit to go. As for his claim early on that Trump was asked to run by military officials who are looking to oust these people, you can look at the politicians who announced they wouldn't run for re-election, which never happens. These people run till they're 90. But Q said that they would be, and I looked it up, and sure as shit, one by one names started popping up. This was now in November 17. I think I made a list of about 30 politicians. Then he said Hollywood would be starting to get cleaned up, and then sure as shit, a steady stream of harassment claims started coming out.
Why do they keep saying sure as shit?
There's more than that, but I imagine you get the gist. I don't get the gist at all. Like, you just said a lot of stuff I do not get the gist of. You know? Give me a stronger gist. And then someone was slagging off Q a bit more, and one of the responses that they got was, don't you have a Burning Man orgy to attend with all the other anti-American blue meanies floating around in the cosmos?
Ooh.
Do you reckon there are orgies at Burning Man? It would have to be, eh?
Yeah.
It's just too much sand, though.
Yeah, it'd be a sandy business.
Yeah. Like, you'd have to have a shower curtain to wash all the sand off before you got into the orgy.
Did we talk previously about Nick Kroll and the 2 interviews he gave about going to Burning Man?
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
So, yeah.
So he's like, all right.
That comment sums up Q nicely for me. They just say he's doing all these things, and how could you deny it?
I think what sums it up for me is that, eventually, it's one of those things where it's like, eventually someone's going to end up dead. A whole bunch of people are already dead.
Yeah.
Like, the people have been murdered over it, people have killed themselves over it.
Yeah. Didn't a guy kill his roommate with an axe or something?
Yeah, there's been a few of those.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird, and it seemed like it had an end date on it for the Mueller report.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's,
No.
The prophecy didn't come to pass, but they just keep pushing the date back.
So the Americans vote next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Trump gets out, is all this going to go away?
No. I think it'll probably fracture things because they won't have something to rally around.
Right.
Trump's been the kind of the beacon to like, hey, you're a cooked white supremacist or a cooked conspiracy theorist. You can rally around me.
Right.
If that's not there anymore, then it's just boring Republicans again. They're probably not going to be able to do that. But who knows? I mean,
if we've learned anything about electoral politics this weekend,
Trump's going to get back in.
Yeah, Trump's going to get back in.
I didn't watch the election this week, but I remember watching when Trump got in. It was just like a car crash. Just like you could see it happening. You say, oh.
Yeah, this was like very slow bingle.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk a little bit more about on the news episode.
It was like a slow bingle that then some dickhead rocked up and started fucking being an idiot at.
So make sure you subscribe to the Patreon if you want to hear what that's all about.
We've referred to the Patreon a lot in this episode. This is our 100th episode. If you haven't signed up to our Patreon, give it a try, even just for a couple of months if you want. Check it out because we have got like a whole other show that we do on there that I think people would get a kick out of.
Yeah.
To celebrate our 100th birthday, everyone should sign up to the Patreon for a month.
What is it going to cost them? $3.33?
$3.
Yeah, $3.
$3 or $6, depends. You get a few buttons. If you give us $6, we'll give you a cool little enamel metal cooked unit pin.
Oh, I lost the backing of mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm sure
popped off my thing.
Sure we can get you another
I
one.
can hook you up there.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, you get some cool stuff. You also... Did anyone get their postcards?
No,
I don't know.
No, there are a lot of replies to you.
There has been a lot now?
Yeah, but they're all saying no, we didn't get it.
So Salty sent postcards out to everyone from the... Where did you do? Loch Ness?
From Loch Ness. I sent every single one of our Patreon subscribers a postcard from Loch Ness, and not one person seems to have got them.
That's the typical Scottish mail.
How does that happen, though? How do you put 25 pieces of individual mail in a letterbox and none of them arrive?
Did you put a stamp on them?
Yeah.
What did you...
Like international stamps, like specific international stamps that cost heaps.
What information did you put in the postcards? Do you think you're being censored by Loch Ness himself?
Well, I did draw a little Nessie on them.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
But the postcard was a picture of Nessie.
Did you put it in a letterbox or into a bin?
Into a letterbox. I've even got a photo of them being put into a letterbox.
Did you... Was it the Loch Ness Monster posing as a letterbox?
Oh,
with his mouth open and you
maybe.
just fed the Loch Ness Monster with postcards? Feed me postcards.
I don't think it was like a souvenir post box, just there for show. It was at a shop outside. It was like a red pillar box, post box with
Once a
Royal
day,
Mail on it.
Someone opens it up and just puts a lighter in there.
Yeah.
Closes it. Job done.
So
I almost want to tweet the Royal Mail and say, how do you put 25 pieces of mail in a mailbox and not one of them rocks up?
Do it. Maybe we've uncovered something here.
Yeah, do it.
Or like, I want to find the shop where it was and maybe ring them and say, hey, you know that postbox outside of your shop?
Is that real?
Does it actually get emptied?
Yeah.
Does that mail get picked up?
Or is it like...
Because maybe it gets picked up once every 3 months or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it is a rural little tiny place on the loch.
Like, the postcards at Loch Ness are, it's big business.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want rumours to start swirling. People jumping on TripAdvisor. Hey, that bloody postbox is rubbish. And people are like, hey, we should go to Loch Ness and send some postcards. Nah, we'll do it from Edinburgh instead.
See, I guess other postcards that we sent were like, we just gave them to the hotel. Hey, can you post these for us? They've got stamps on them, and they're like, yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Except the ones we gave the hotel in Rotterdam. No one's got them.
Oh.
Wow, Rotterdam. You can't trust a Rotterdamian.
No.
So,
anyway, long story short, sign up to the Patreon. You'll get promised things, and we'll never send them, or we will, but they won't arrive. Don't believe that.
Great sales pitch.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter at twitter.com/hypothepod. We are on Facebook. We're on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere where you can get podcasts, Podbean, etc. Robbo, where can folks find you? We haven't done this for so long.
You can get me at aleoftime, aleoftime.com. Luke at aleoftime if you want to send me an email. I always like an email.
Salty?
You can get me at Saltmarsh on Instagram for art and things. I'm selling some clothes at the moment. I've designed some women's apparel.
Some cool skirts.
Go check them out. Someone buy one, please.
You got pinged by the Facebook police.
Facebook police won't post my ad because they think it's political for some reason. Doesn't make any sense.
You're bearing the brunt of Russia Gate on your goth pants.
My goth skirts that I'm selling. Andrew Saltmarsh illustration on Facebook. Check out Toe Hodder on Patreon, but check out us on Patreon first.
Yeah. You've been Laura Lumed.
You can find me at Sexenheimer.
Oh, keeping you up there, mate.
Keeping you up, indeed.
High energy. You can find me at Sexenheimer on Twitter. Gather Around Me on Facebook and iTunes is my other podcast.
All right, folks. Here's to another 100.
Yeah.
Hey.
Cheers.
Hey.
Wait, raise your bat, guys.
Ching.
I don't think that's a thing.
It's a thing.
Cut it.
It is.
Don't worry about a thing, except if all our world leaders are alien reptilians. I said don't worry about a thing, except maybe the fluoride in our water supply contains mind-altering drugs. Don't worry about a thing, except whether or not Port Arthur was a false flag operation in which to disarm Australia. I said don't worry about a thing. I accept you can definitely hear John Lennon say I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. Ooh, don't worry about a thing. Except not only did Bush do 9/11, but he also keeps the planes out in Area 51, which, let's not forget where all of the aliens are. Don't worry about a thing. Yeah. Donald Trump is clearly a woman, and you're just blind if you can't see that. Why don't you open your eyes?